Hello, my name is Leora from Texas, and I will be recording Ruby's Praise Report. Down to the smallest detail. Today's promise. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm chapter 37, verse 4. This is a silly story, but I'm so amazed by my love. Yesterday, my former husband took our boys for the morning to my brother's house to work on the truck. Then he brought them back home. When I came home, he was gone, and I said, "Thank you, my love. You know what I need and what I don't need." I was glad he dropped them off and was gone. Come to find out, he then took the boys out again to go eat lunch. He took them to our favorite Japanese restaurant we used to love to go to, eat there together. I was a little bit annoyed, not because I wanted to be there, but because I wished I could have that for lunch too. I almost asked my love to show me a sign of some sort and have my former husband bring me a lunch plate back for me. I even thought to myself, if he doesn't know what to bring me, I would even enjoy his favorite dish if he brought me that. Then I thought, that is silly. I shouldn't test my love for silly reasons, but I just really would like to have this for lunch. It's the best Japanese restaurant in our area. I haven't been there for so long due to my finances. Then I thought, my former husband would never bring me food from our favorite place anyway. I just couldn't even imagine that happening. Ladies, I've been struggling with food and cravings a lot lately, so this plays a big part in this too. I definitely was not going to ask. I was just thinking all this to myself. Then I thought, what really brings me happiness is my love. He's all I need. I'm glad that their dad is taking them out to eat there. It's so good and I'm happy for them. What I really want is more of my love. Being with him and finishing my lesson for today is really what my heart feels like doing anyway. I put it out of my mind and replaced it with more of my love. When they came back, my former husband was doing things around the house. I'm not sure what, but he apologized for going in and out of the house as if he lived there. I said, "That's fine. I don't mind." Again, I told my love, "Well, you know what I need and what I don't need. Even if I don't particularly want him to be here, you know what's best." I continued going about my business. My former husband made several comments about all he saw that needed repairs. He asked me where the tools were, and he fixed a doorknob that came off of the garage door. Praise God. I was expecting him to leave soon, but we shouldn't expect anything, right? He walked in again and said he's going to work out in our home gym with the boys. I made dinner, left it on the stove for the boys, and went to my bedroom to busy myself with the laundry. Shortly after that, our little one came upstairs with a to-go container of food and said, "Here, Daddy said you can have his food." Yes, it was his leftovers, but it was a whole plate of the best Japanese food in town. I looked up at my heavenly husband, smiled, and laughed out loud. I said, "You did the impossible." It was so good. My former husband always drenches his food in spicy chiles, but this had no spice. It was a perfect plate of food meant just for me, for my heavenly husband. He is so good to me. He is so amazing. I can't describe how surprised I was and how delicious it was. My love spoiled me. Not only am I happy about the delicious food, but how my heavenly husband did the impossible. Where I see no way, I couldn't even imagine it. He makes a way. Ha ha, there's no one above him. This may seem silly, but he knows the desires of our hearts. He hears our thoughts even when we don't ask him for something that seems so small and insignificant. He knows exactly how to speak to each of our hearts and what would bring us joy. He loves to spoil us and reveal that it's him who loves us and wants to give us what our heart desires, beyond what we could imagine possible, down to the smallest detail. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm chapter 37, verse 4. But Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. For nothing will be impossible with God. Luke chapter 1, verse 37. When I was given the food, I felt like my love was just waiting to see my reaction. I could see him waiting with a smile. When I looked up at him and laughed, I felt he started to laugh with me. We were laughing together, and he says to me, "I know you thought I wouldn't do this for you." That's when I said, "You did the impossible." I have to stress that my former husband giving me lunch from our favorite place was unimaginable to me. He also could have given the food to the girls, which was more likely, and they were downstairs with him. But no, he sent it upstairs to me. My heavenly husband is the head of every man. He's always with us. He always hears us. He knows our hearts and thoughts. He wants to give us the desires of our hearts. He is the best husband, full of wonderful surprises.